Hello, I'm Lizzie.
And I'm Izzy, and we need help.
Each week we stumble through a new book, method, or concept that brings us one step closer to being our best self.
Yes, we make fun of ourselves.
And others.
But mostly just ourselves. So here's to not taking self-help quite so seriously.
Welcome to We Need Help. I'm Lizzie.
And I'm Izzy, and welcome to part 2 of Bringing Sexy Back. Yeah!
I'll be talking like this the whole time just to show my sexuality.
Did you ever want to be a phone sex operator?
No, I wanted to be a prostitute, but not a phone sex.
Go big or go home, I guess. Go big or go phone.
Oh.
Okay. So guys,
I like that.
So this is part 2, which is like kind of the after portion. So season 2, we're going to do like a before and after. And this is the topic of sexiness. And we have now read Feel Sexy Again by Erica Lemke Pembroke, which is kind of not a sexy name, but whatever. Own it.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with making up a name.
A pen name.
A pen name.
Erica Lemke Pembroke. You could have gone with something sexier.
I would have dropped, and she could have easily done this. I would have dropped the Lemke.
Yeah, the Lemke kind of. Erica Pembroke sounds cool.
Yeah. That's sexy.
Yeah.
But you know what? She's sexy the way she is. We're going to let her have that.
Yeah. It's all about liking yourself and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's, you do you, Erica Lemke Pembroke.
I think the double last names are just not sexy.
Wait, you don't like that at all?
Yeah, what's your maiden name?
Turnip Seed.
Like Lizzie Turnip Seediana. You're Lizzieana, that's sexy.
Lizzieana sexy?
You went with the sexier one. You went with the sexier surname.
Yeah.
If your maiden name was sexier than Yana, you probably would have stuck with the sexier one, right?
Yeah, I would have never gotten married. The only reason I got married was to get rid of that crazy ass name.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. I ended up loving it. It made it maybe that's how she felt about Lemke, but it was just unique.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever forget it.
Yeah.
And
I forgot it, but
did you know it?
I did know it, obviously, because I know your dad, Turnip Seed, like Mr. Turnip Seed. But I kind of forgot that that's where the name comes from. It's from your dad.
Yeah. It was a tough one to grow up with. I'm not going to lie.
Did you get made fun of? Did people?
Yeah. Nobody was turned on by it. Let's just say it. Not to stick with the subject, but it was not sexy.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay. So last episode, what I talked about was that I kind of wanted to own my sexiness and my body and kind of own it again. And what was your kind of deal?
I wanted to enhance. I just don't think you can ever feel empowered in sexual power enough. So I wanted to enhance my sexuality. And I think over the last week, I definitely have.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, oh, for sure. I don't know what it is, and I owe it all to this podcast, I think. Just bringing awareness to the topic of sexiness and making that decision, because I do think it's a decision, that I am going to love myself and feel sexy, and I'm going to be feeling myself, has brought in, a weird kind of energy. Guys, I've never gotten headhunted in my life, ever. I just haven't, because I just haven't. And this week, I'm getting headhunted left and right. It's amazing. And I'm fully convinced that it's because I have brought in this self-confident, sexy energy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's power. It's pure power. And I am, after listening to this book, convinced that I was right all along.
Thanks, Erica.
It is
Lemke,
pure power.
Pembroke.
Yes, Miss Lemke Pembroke, you are absolutely correct. It's power.
Yeah.
It's pure power. And my mom and I were talking about it yesterday, and she said, well, I mean, this woman has burned bras, marched for rights. Like, she is the real deal. And she said, yeah, I mean, the church and the patriarchy decided a long time ago that we were too powerful. So the only way that we were going to be good is if we were untouched. Because sex is power. And she said even the Holy Mother had to be untouched. Like,
Yeah.
she, so
That's interesting.
yeah, it's really interesting. So she's like, they recognized a long time ago that this was powerful.
Yeah, I mean, the Jews knew it. I've been called a shiksa many a time. Right?
Oh, that is so sexy.
The shiksa. She's such a shiksa,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I want to be a shiksa.
We'll talk about shiksas in the afterbirth, where that comes from and all that.
Okay.
So yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. So
okay.
This book, basically what this book is she's a coach. She's like a coach and a therapist, I think, and she helps women get in touch with their sexiness, and she has like an 8-step method. And that's what this book is. It's going over like a lot of case studies. It's exploring what sexiness is. And then she basically presents this 8-step method on how to get in touch with the sexiness and bring that sexiness back. So.
Okay, so what's step 1?
So step 1 is she will guide people how to assess how they got to this point in their lives, where they are right now, and how to own your story, right?
Okay.
So owning your path, basically. So that's step 1.
Okay. So, like, as you're like balls deep into a bag of Doritos sitting on the couch, like
just
for
own
day
it.
3,
Like...
own that. When you haven't like shaved around your vagina in like a month and a half, own that shit.
Yeah, own it. Own that story. How did it get here?
When you look down at your toenails and they no longer look like toes,
yeah,
own that.
So that's step 1. Step 2 is helping people identify their own empowered definitions of sexy and dispel myths and etc. So she talks about what is sexy. I had a bit of a disagreement with her here when I was listening.
I'm on your side, whatever it is.
So
you're right.
She starts talking about what is sexy, and she said that sexy is confidence, which I think that's a part of it, but then I started thinking about people who are super confident, but I don't think they're sexy at all. So one example of that would be Jennifer, what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence, is that her name? She's an actress. She's kind of ballsy. She's friends with Amy Schumer. Jennifer.
Oh, I don't know what movie she's in. Just tell me a movie that she's in, and maybe.
She was in Silver Linings Playbook. She played the insane girl. What's her name? Jennifer. She's like, oh my gosh. I have it in my notes.
Well, I can
Jennifer Lawrence, I think. Isn't it Jennifer Lawrence?
Maybe. I don't know. Let me look her up real quick while you're talking.
Okay. So she's super confident. Like very she fell when she was like at the Oscars. She fell over. Somebody helped her up and she like owned it. And
I like her.
Okay. But I don't think she's sexy. I like her. But for me, sexiness is something more than confidence. I think you can be confident and not be sexy.
You don't think she is?
I don't. There's something about her that I just don't find sexy. You disagree with me. Okay.
Well, I mean, whatever. But you were saying that it still remains. I can think of so many people like Oprah's best friend, Gail.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem sexy to me.
Yeah.
She doesn't have sex appeal, but she definitely has confidence.
Yeah.
Oh, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Yeah. Confident, not sexy.
Confident.
Right?
Yeah, she doesn't have sex appeal, and I think that's why she didn't get the vote.
And that's where like I sort of like was diverted, because she was like, confidence is sexiness, and yeah, it's a part of it, but I don't think it. For me, sexiness, there's something about it. There's the French have a word for it, je ne sais quoi, which is this I don't know what. You know, some
Yes.
people have it.
It's an essence.
It's
We have
like-
a word. It's essence.
Yeah,
It's,
and I watched the morning show. I don't know if you've watched that show, but season 2,
it is fucking phenomenal.
it is so great. And they talk about people having the it factor or not. And I think people have the sexiness factor or not. Right? So somebody
Yeah.
could be extremely self-confident, but they just don't have that. Sexiness has to do with sex. Like, you know?
It has to do with a fucking right and an entitlement to pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And what you want. It has something about being entitled to pleasure and what you want. And I think that is, over the years, what I've seen that I have that a lot of people don't. And it's bad to say it like that, but like, whenever I see like somebody who is sexy, they always have a certain like assumption that they should. Je ne sais quoi. It is like it's okay for them to have what they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah. I think it's quite elusive, you know, and it's almost like that it factor. Like some people have it, some people don't. And I don't think, and that's where I was kind of like, it's not just about being confident, because I'll tell you something. I've been pretty confident these last couple years, but I haven't been really in touch with that sexy part. And I got in touch with it through this topic and through this book. And it's worked. It started working.
It's working, y'all.
Oh, yay.
It's working.
So yeah. It's good.
There is something about it. There is something. You know what I noticed? This is the craziest thing. Because I just figured like I'm just, okay. So when I lived on the island, literally, no, they were not interested in my type, the islanders.
What's your type?
Like skinny, white. They love women that are voluptuous and Rubenesque and curvy and just kind of out there. So I got no like attention on the island. It was wonderful.
Why do you say it was wonderful?
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because there was pressure taken off for some reason. I don't know. But then when I got to, like, when I would get off the plane in, like, Atlanta, men would be looking at me. And I would be like, what are they looking at? Like, I didn't, like, it didn't come normally. But then when I moved back here after Irma hit, I mean, I never felt like I was hideous or anything. But, like, I didn't really notice them looking at me. I just kind of figured, okay, well, I'm like 45 years old. Maybe they're just not attracted to me. But here's the weird part. Until this week, and this subject has been going on, I think I just quit looking at men's eyes to see if they were looking at me. Like I've noticed all week long that like people are flirting with me all the time, and I didn't even notice.
Oh, yeah, because you stopped looking for
weird.
that validation in men's eyes.
I didn't even notice it. And you guys, I'm getting eye fucked all day long. Like, I had no idea.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my God.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so step 1, owning your story. Step 2, definition of sexiness, which we've kind of gone over. And has your definition of sexiness changed since reading this book? Or is it pretty much the same?
It's, no, it's, I think that I mean, I'm more in tune with it, even if I definitely feel more sexy after reading this book.
Yeah.
I definitely do feel more empowered.
Yeah. Yeah, and step 3 is her teaching how to access those feelings and tap into a sexy state.
Okay, so it was like 2 months ago when I read the first half of this book. What do you do? I can't remember.
You just said to like do things that make you feel sensual and sexual, and for her it was dance.
Good.
But what it
Yeah.
got me thinking was I am very out of tune and out of connection with my body. Like I haven't enjoyed like dance or any kind of movement, or like I've been kind of like separated almost from my body. So I decided just to reconnect and like even walking, like enjoy the way
Yeah.
my body moves and be aware of it.
Because
And
I'm hearing masturbation.
could be whatever that is for
Yeah.
you, you know, whatever that is for you, right?
Yeah.
So that's what she talked about is kind of really being aware of your body and loving it. And that was big
Okay.
for me. Like I've had
Okay.
to, you know, step into that. So that's
This
step
goes
3.
beyond getting your nails done.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Just
Yeah.
asking,
Yeah.
asking for a friend.
Yeah. And then step forward, like she's a coach, so she's supporting the reader to help them recognize um, their values, beliefs, goals, like the clear motivation. She started talking about like how to regain self-confidence, which I kind of glommed over because I'm already self-confident. But the part that I loved the best from her little process was that connecting with the body, because I've been kind of disregarding my body almost. Like it's almost like an annoying like child or something. Like my body's like, mom, shut up. Like go,
Well,
you
and
know.
we talked about like you being mommy dearest to your body, and you need to like chill
Yeah.
on your body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, embracing what I consider the defects. So I'm just going to own them, you know?
Okay.
So, you know, and not criticize them so much and just loving your
Yeah.
body. You know, I think that's
Yeah.
a big part. Yeah.
I
Which
love
is,
that.
that's her step 5. So it's transforming those old patterns and those old beliefs. My old belief, my arms are too big, you know, to wear tank
Yeah.
tops. So I even like created a tank top for our store, a sexy as fuck tank top that I'm going to rock and just show
Okay.
off my big bulging arms
They're not big bulging. So you were just
in my
nasty.
head. Well,
Yeah.
that's where the old idea is. So
Your
step 5 is just
beautiful,
getting rid of those.
sexy ass
My
arms.
sexy ass, powerful arms that can knock me the
Yep.
fuck
That can
out.
slap the shit out of you if I
Yeah,
feel fit.
exactly. So yeah, so that was step 5 in her process. Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Do you have
There's
any
only
old
5 steps.
ideas? Like any, like I know my friends have a lot of old ideas. Like a lot of my friends that are moms have these ideas. Like now that I'm a mom, I can't be sexy. Do you have any old ideas about like your sexiness?
Mm, uh, I mean, now that I'm a mom, I can't like go out and have sex with anybody I want. No. Just kidding. Um, no, I feel sexy as a mom. I don't think that takes that away, but there was a time when she was like 2 or 3 where I was just fucking spent
Mm,
and exhausted and empty. And if you feel like that as a mom, you're dead on. That's how all moms feel. It is the worst, where you just feel empty and like you get it. Sexy is like almost like in when you're in survival mode. That's the least of your worries. You're trying to
mm.
keep your head up, man.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like
not worried about being sexy. You're worrying about like being
survival, like
awake.
yeah, not killing this child that's
Yeah,
like really, I mean, motherhood is so hard. It
yeah.
affects your sexuality to the point like, but like right now, I've Scar's 10, so like I'm very comfortable. I'm very comfortable in my sexuality, and she's I know she's watching too.
Mm.
And I think it's really important for me to be a creature that has like a healthy place for that,
Yeah, there's a
you
line, one
know?
of my favorite quotes, and I forgot who said it, so I'll afterbirth it, but it's confident mothers raise confident daughters. And
Yeah, I
if
think
she's looking at you and you are confident in your sexiness and your sexuality, then that's going to directly pass on to her.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope I don't want her to I have friends and even family that God damn they're hard on themselves. It's like I don't want her to look at that body that I made her and treat it terribly,
Yeah.
or not feel comfortable having the things that she wants in life, the joy and pleasure and all of that comes along with it. So I hope that I'm being a good guiding light for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
But it's hard. Like, so if there's some mothers out there that feel like shit, I've definitely been there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of the mothers I meet just feel like, oh, because I'm pregnant, I can't be sexy. Or now that I'm a mom, I can't dress a certain way. Those are these old ideas, or yeah, like you said, like I'm like that motherhood and sexiness can't go hand in hand. Like, I think that's an old idea that can just be rid of.
It's like how you got there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Dance with the girl who brought you,
Exactly. Yeah. So that's, that's interesting. But you're paving the way, girl, because you are sexy. You're a sexy mom.
I tried, like, I don't know, like sometimes I'm not sexy, but sometimes, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. So there's only 5 steps?
There's 8 steps. So then
okay.
Step 6 is just like solidifying this desire and like really embracing your power. And then step 7 is like that being like owning it, being in it. And then step 8 is just kind of strategies for continuing onward. And so it's kind of like a typical coaching session, but revolving around sexiness. So for me, I think the most helpful step was just like connecting with the body and then making this conscious choice on a daily basis to work on the sexiness part, like to own it, to love it, just to love myself, like that self-love, not just the confidence, but the self-love, and like implementing some kind of sensual activity into my daily life. Like that's what this book gave me, just an awareness to do that.
One thing I loved about this book that she was talking about, and I think I kind of got away from it because there was at one point, it was last year, I was like, God, I just feel like I'm not feeling it. I remembered back after we got off the last episode, and I remembered back, and I was surrounded by like takers, and I wasn't saying no. I was giving way too much, and I just, I was feeling like gross so many ways. And she was saying in there that a lot of your sexuality and your empowerment can be taken away by not saying no when you should say no. And, not putting up boundaries when you don't think that it would affect that part of you. But like when someone's like, when you're not in the driver's seat of your life and you're not making decisions that are like, you're being basically a martyr of your life. You can't feel there are no sexy martyrs.
Yeah, no sexy martyrs. There's no sexy victims.
There's no sexy martyrs.
Yeah.
There's no,
Yeah.
Although, like, I mean, yeah, there's just no sexy martyrs. So you can't.
Let's afterbirth that. Let's try to find if there's any sexy martyrs.
But like sexy victims, like there are girls that like they didn't have.
Yeah,
like there's people who
right.
like victims.
You're right. For a rescuer, a victim is super sexy. Yeah.
So sexy.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct on that.
And for like who's a perfect match for a martyr? So a taker, a narcissist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's really interesting that you say this because my friend Maria and I were talking about this, how I think we became less sexy in the eyes of our partners when we started becoming more empowered because they didn't have anybody to rescue, right? So that's interesting. Like some guys need to rescue somebody, and that is a whole sexy thing, right? So it takes a specific type of man to like think an empowered woman is very sexy and not be.
Well, it takes a man.
It takes a man because it almost takes away from their own sexiness, right? But, Maciek got there. It just took a little reshuffling and reframing, and I think he thinks I'm sexy. So, does Jason
He
think you're?
better.
I mean, I know Jason thinks you're sexy. So,
Yeah, I think he does. I
yeah.
mean, I think there was a time that we weren't connected in that way at all.
Yeah.
And that's something we have to work on in our marriage. It's not I refuse to not talk about the realities of marriage, because it's like you don't always feel this immense amount of hot frickin' 9.5 week sex.
Yeah.
It's just not, and you move away from it. And sometimes it's never there to begin with. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's, so you have to really, really work on it. And in our marriage, that is a challenge. Like we have to work on that. And it's paid off. Like we do work on it every single day.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think he finds me extremely sexy. I think I think I'm his perfect idea of sexy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty fly.
It's pretty fly. So overall, what do you think about this book? Thumbs up? Would you recommend it?
I would. And you know what I will say, now that I've thought about it, after we did the last episode, which thank you, it was one of my favorite episodes. I think this empowerment, this sexual power is really important for us women to take hold of, because I think this is what we have that men don't. I think it's not that men don't have a different kind of sexy. I just think our kind of sexy, female sexuality, is really special and powerful. And I think we all need to lock into it.
Yeah. Good. And this book definitely, it opened some doors for me in my brain. It got me to realize that it has to be a conscious effort to connect with it. That sexy part, right? It's not just going to come on its own. It does take a little bit of work.
I also looked on Spotify and I put in sexy playlists. And music really does have an impact on how you feel.
Who do you think is the sexiest? Do you have a sexy musician, band, song? What is that for you?
Oh man, I was not prepared for that question.
I will
do you
answer.
Have one?
Yeah, Led Zeppelin.
Oh, I
when
love
the levee
Led
breaks and the beginning
Oh,
of that,
yeah.
and it's like, holy shit, yes, yeah.
Yes, I love that.
Led Zeppelin. I mean, man, they are just the epitome of sexiness for me. And that song,
yeah, it does have
when it keeps on raining, the levee's gonna break. And I was like, oh my god, the levee's gonna break. Everything's gonna be wet. Ah! I just love it. Holy, that song.
That is a good song. Oh my god, I love it. I'm gonna have to Afterbirth mine. Man, I have so many songs that I love, and I'm like, oh god, there's so many good ones.
Yeah, good. Let's take a quick break.
Okay,
take a little banter break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about what book we're doing next.
Lovely. Oh, yeah. You guys have to go to weneedhelpthepodcast.com and visit our shop. It is absolutely amazing. We have tons of new products on there.
Yeah, and we have products that are related to being sexy. So we have a sexy as fuck shirt. We have a crop top that says #fat, which I am proudly going to rock.
Rock that mofo.
I am rocking it for the next episode.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm gonna rock it. I'm
serious?
I'm gonna have my belly out.
I fucking love you, and I'm gonna get the sexy as fuck one. We're back.
We're back. So, what is your main takeaway from this week? The whole sexiness topic, the book. What are you taking from this?
Well, I feel sexier. I don't know if I'm taking that or giving it, but I'm definitely. I feel so good about where I am in this place in the world, and I'm really like, I think I'm at a good place with it. I just feel good about myself. And you know what? I'm not going to apologize for that anymore.
Okay, good. That's what you're taking.
Yeah.
No more apologies.
Yep. What are you taking?
I am taking like loving my body, myself, the way I am.
I
Like
love
my
that.
physical body. Okay. Because I've been loving myself like in the inside. Like, you know, I think I'm a good person, like whatever. I've been loving the inside, but now it's time to start loving the outside. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm taking from this book and making a conscious effort. Every time that little voice says, this is imperfect, I'm going to say, you know what, go away. So making a conscious effort to think
You're
I'm
so
sexy
nice.
no
I'd be
matter
like,
what.
you know what? Fuck you. This is my body. This is my fucking amazing body.
Yeah. But just making a conscious effort to own it, to do it, to love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm taking
Yeah.
from this. So yeah.
I love that. That's so awesome. I mean, that's a hell of a stride in the right direction.
Yeah.
So,
And I have
Erica
to say, I'm
Lemke
happy.
Pembroke, that's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
That's. I want to thank you, thank you, thank you.
So what topic are we doing next week?
This is one of my favorite topics.
Bridge burning.
I like to burn bridges.
Bridge burning, the musical. So we're going to talk about burning bridges. Yeah, cutting stuff out. And then afterwards, we're going to read Kitty Flanagan's great book, Bridge Burning and Other Hobbies. I love that.
Seriously, bridge burning is one of my, it's my life's purpose.
It's so funny, like how funny it would be because like recently, since I've been headhunted, I have to send like my resume, my CV, and there's always a space where you have to write your hobbies, which I never do, but now I should, like bridge burning. Like,
Loving my body.
Isabella, what is this about? Loving your body and bridge burning? Like...
Hey, awkward. I'm awkward. Is that a hobby?
And being awkward. Loving my body, bridge burning, and being awkward. 3 hobbies.
I would call those assets. Okay.
Yeah, those are my skills. That I have a very specific skill set.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to talk about bridge burning.
Yeah. You just made a face like a psycho child from a horror film.
Well, you know that little meme with that little girl with the burning house behind it?
Oh yeah, that's you.
I've felt like that many times in my life.
Good. All right. Well, I will see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Love you.
Love you.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Rate and follow us if you like us. If you don't, please don't.
And come visit us at www.theweneedhelppodcast.com. There you can find show notes, links for books. You can join Audible, which is, how we actually read our books. We listen to them. And we have special exclusive content just for you. Also, feel free to subscribe to our Patreon account. That's where you can support us financially because we need it. And it can be anywhere from $1 to $100 billion a month, whatever you can afford. And the link to our Patreon account is www.patreon, and that's spelled patreon.com/We Need Help Podcast. And you can support us on there. We would really appreciate it because we do need help.
Awesome. And we will see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Thanks,
Bye.
loves. Bye.